everyone has a story to tell. Your story might be so different from my story would be different from your story, but the important thing here is everyone has a story to tell.
Hi guys, my name is Christina and I present you a video about the best volunteer stories for a better world.
We brought together volunteers from 33 countries who shared their stories. Stories about their countries, about their families, about motivation, about initiatives they had taken action on.
My name is Sydney Hopper. I'm from the United States.
My name is Christina Silvan. I come from Finland.
My name is Mohammed Ihsan. I am from Iraq.
My name is Islam Sadiq. I'm from Egypt.
So I'm Laurie. I'm from Estonia.
My name is Weronika Żutka and I'm from Poland.
I am Sofia Antonella Mendez from Paraguay.
Hi, I'm Abigail Mesa from the Philippines.
Namaste. I'm from India. My name is Avnish Bhatt.
My name is Triklantseva Alexandra and I'm from Russia.
My name is Ibrahim Sonko. I'm 22 years old. I'm a Gambian.
So I'm Fiona McCandless from Australia.
My name is Destania. I'm from Indonesia.
My name is Alia Hatem from Egypt.
I am Sadat from Turkey.
My name is Morozova Ekaterina. I'm from Kyrgyzstan.
By the name of Susan William Molel. I'm coming from Tanzania.
My name is Wang Bingjia. I'm from China.
I'm Jorge Aldana. I'm from Paraguay.
My name is Barbara Temvu and I am from Tanzania.
Hello, I'm Jason from Malaysia.
My name is Halwest Karim. I'm from Kurdistan Regional Government of Iraq.
My name is Imran Ahmad. I'm from Pakistan.
I'm Gabriel from Brazil.
I got into volunteering because I feel like I've been very lucky in my life. I know, especially being from the United States, that just by chance of where I was born, I have a lot of privilege and a lot of opportunities that I'm given, and I've been lucky to have a lot of mentors and people that have helped me, and so I wanted to give back to other people and try and be a positive force in their lives. So I volunteered at the camp for 4 years. We say years even though it's technically 4 weeks because it's a long week. But my favorite moments are always talking with the campers. I remember my first year, it's on an island, so we were down at the beach with a girl, and we were just talking. She was 15 at the time. We were just talking about favorite movies and songs, and it just really hit me that I think so often we look at people with physical or mental disabilities as being something other, and it's so not true. They are just like everybody else, and I think they deserve the same respect that we give everyone else. They deserve to express their thoughts, even if they're nonverbal and you have to communicate with them through signals or in a non-traditional way. They deserve the same patience, the same respect that we give everyone else. And so having those conversations with those kids, and I hope that they feel respected and they feel loved, because they are. And I think sometimes in our world, they don't always receive that same love and respect, and it's so important to give that to everybody. It's the first time for a lot of them that they're around other kids with physical challenges, physical disabilities, and they say it makes a big impact. A lot of these kids, they go to school and they're the only person in their class in a wheelchair, or they're the only person that has that sort of challenge in their life, and it can be really isolating. And so when they come to camp, they see they are just like every other kid. They're allowed to forget about their struggles and the stress in their life for a week. And it really helps them as people. It helps them grow in confidence and in their abilities. And it's magical to see. I think as every volunteer, they start their work in order to help other people. But I think I almost feel like I gain more than I can even give to the kids. They give me so much inspiration and power and hope, and I think about them all the time, even when I'm not at camp.
It's really difficult to say, I don't know, like 10 years, 15 years, something like that. And it's because volunteering is already such a normal part of your life that you don't even know when it started and when it ends. It's really boring and kind of wrong if you just work and have fun. So I think civic activism should be a part of everyone's everyday life because it gives you so much, and you can also help your society. So I didn't have anything like this, one day this happened and then I wanted to change the world. No, I think like generally if you think about like conflicts and why conflicts happen between countries, I think it's a lot about lack of communication. So That's why I think like what I can do, for example, like with the whole like refugee crisis, for example, I think it's really important to like help people integrate to Finnish society, also help Finns integrate like to people that are coming. So it's to basically make the world a better place. But I can't really tell how everything started. It's just you look around you and you see like there's something that's wrong or you feel like should be better, and then you go and then change it. Because there are people who are not volunteers who just see that something's wrong and then they complain about it and then they go home and do nothing. But a volunteer is someone who's initiative in a way that they see that something's wrong and they want to take action and they're ready to take action. They know how to take action.
My country's situation is different. We are in war situation and we have many IDPs and refugees coming to the safe cities. Yeah, I have a small project. We have about 1,000 volunteering in this project from different backgrounds. We want to make push the volunteering work in the city, because volunteering work is very important to develop any city, and the people in my city now believing in volunteering. We have a different project, like we believe in gender equality for give opportunity to girls to work in the community. We have a project for the refugee. We really believe with volunteering we can do everything, like getting new friends and getting new skills, because in my city the girls very shy, and when we engage with the volunteers and this group, they work like free, like we are the very big family now. We have people from different regions and different backgrounds. When we come into the group, we forget everything about our culture, and we just working like a volunteering and like human for the city.
It started with participating in Scouts activity, so I felt how it looks like when you participate in serving people. So I started to understand the methodology of how servant leadership comes from. So if you serve people well, you can lead them to a better life. I use this case of Superman. One day it was a gift from one of my relatives to me. So I felt that I believe in this God. Everyone has a Superman inside him. Everyone has his giant abilities that if he believed in a cause, he will be a Superman. It's not need to can be able to fly, have a laser in your eyes that has extraordinary abilities, but you can, even if you help a blind man to cross the road, you are a Superman. So maybe there is bad people in the world, that's sure, because there is nothing good all over the time. But when you believe that everyone had the good himself, and even if he doesn't have the good inside him, making you the good for him or still treating him as good as you want, you get the good for yourself. So if someone who's nervous, one has loud voice, someone who has kicking people or whatever, if I treat someone as badly as they treat me, all the bad behaviors will be in me. But if I try to do the good things towards all the people who are treating me badly, I will make some kind of transferring all the good things from me to the others. So never give up or never lose hope in people. People are always good, because this is the nature where they pour all over the world.
Waking up every morning and not thinking how I can spend the time just for me, but by helping others. And having opportunities across the world. In Estonia we have so many nice projects among the city center and in different districts. We have the cleaning days, we have the days when we just put a huge table in the middle of the street and we all have dinner together on the street, and we organize different types of street festivals, we organize different types of art projects on the street, so we make it beautiful and nice living platform for us.
So I was teaching in Malaysian kindergarten for 2 months, and this working with kids and this working with the completely different culture and completely different conditions showed me that actually it is really hard to understand a different culture, and that we can be surprised really often, but we don't have ready solutions how to help them, or our values cannot be as the same as their values. So it showed me that Europe is not in the center in the world, and we cannot take our values for every place. My story was that I was really curious how the life looks in another part of the world, and I was really disappointed about general tourism. I felt it's really unfair. I just thought that it's not what I want. I wanted to meet people, I wanted to get in the deeper relations. That's why I was involved in the student organization, to have an opportunity to meet with the people from foreign countries. And then I realized how many inequalities are in the world, how the life in the different parts of the world look like, and how the resources are distributed in the wrong way. And it just angers me a lot, and I cannot agree with that. So that's why I started to be involved and try to do something with that. Volunteering for me, oh my god, it's a hard question. It's the way to say thank you for that what I have, because I'm pretty aware that I live in the Europe. I have enough money for basic needs and for so much more, so I'm pretty privileged. So to can use my privilegement, it's volunteering, it's the way to say thank you and to say that other people deserve for the same.
My little sister passed away from leukemia. That was really tragic for our family, but after that my mom and my dad create a foundation that helps kids with leukemia, especially helping them with resources to go to the hospital, because we don't live in the capital, and it is if you want to get a treatment you have to go to the capital. I mean, and it is like 3 or 2 hours far away, and there's a lot of people needing that. And now I'm the coordinator of the volunteers.
I was really motivated to be a rescuer because I myself once has been rescued. So I was a former drug addict. I was into vices, and I was personally sexually abused. But so when someone helped me to be rescued, that's the time also I believe that it's high time for me to rescue other people as well. Once you have been rescued, you must be the next rescuer for the next generation as well. So it's a non-stop cycle.
8 years back, I have also involved in this profession when I see so many girls uneducated in the mountain regions in the north place of India. Till now we have adopted many females, and we have started educating them and getting into the loop with the whole world. But before that they were just in their villages. They don't know what is railways, what is education, what is internet. We have distributed stationery to the girl child. So they have started tearing the paper, and they have started preparing the aeroplane with that. So in the first 2 years we used to experience this, that they have not started learning, they have not started reading, but they have started doing the creative activities like drawing, painting. But after 2 years they started learning how to write, how to read. If you help people, if you educate them, if you help them to come into the mainstream of the society, so it gives you a peace, it gives you a satisfaction which you not able to get in your job, in your daily routine work.
Well, I was 6 years old when doctors first time diagnosed that my mom has cancer, and it was pretty hard for me to understand what's going on, but I've tried to make everyone in my family calm and to save the peace inside the family. And after that it was like a habit for me to make people feel comfortable. I'm studying to solve this problem in MIFI. I will try to find new devices to create them to treat people from cancer. I have the theory that everyone has a need to take care about anyone. And there are groups of people who need to be cared about.
I've been involved in volunteerism for almost 5-7 years now. So you can imagine, I think since I was about 15 and I'm 23 now, so it's been quite a long time. Since I was small, I was involved in volunteerism work. The society I live in the Gambia, for instance, we have a population of less than 2 million people. Now, out of the 2 million people, 64% of our Gambians are women. Women undergo through lots of violence, domestic violence, more than men. And also women do not have access to basic fundamental rights, or they're not respected compared to men. So what we tell them is, sometimes you do not need to wait on the government. What you need to wait for is, you see a problem, you find a solution to that problem. As a volunteer, one quality that you must have is visionary. You need to see the fact that there is a problem, because that is what volunteerism is about. But another very important aspect that a volunteer needs to have is the issue of passion in whatever you're doing. So passion for volunteerism is the drive that keeps you going. To all the volunteers in the world that I used to say this, young people come up and solve problems of the society.
We really work for anti-nuclear weapons, anti-military bases in Australia. It's one of the oldest, or it is the oldest peace group from Victoria that my grandmother started. So it's got a long history from 1959. For me, my grandmother is my inspiration. So for her, or her father, my great-grandfather was killed in the Second World War by the Japanese, but she managed to create good relations with the Japanese. So that is true peace in my opinion. So forgetting the past and working together for a future. So that really inspired me. For me, it's not activism, it's just maintaining a good living standard. And whatever you have to do to maintain that, you should do it.
Living is not only about yourself, but also about others. And being a volunteer really give me, like recharging the good, positive energy when I'm tired, when I'm sick of the world, like why people do this, why could they do that? But when I do volunteering, it really gives me back the positive energy, so it really helps me. Well, to be a volunteer, just use your heart and do everything sincerely, because if you do something full of your heart and sincerely, the good thing will go back to you in an unexpected way. My focus is on youth and children education. So one of my projects is I found a project to teach children in prison and why be there, because they need their roles, they need to feel that role as friends, as sisters and as brothers, to take care of them and to give them the chance, because the kids in prison usually don't have the second chance to be better. They always be judged by other people, like you don't deserve the second chance, you have no future. So we were there. And why it's important, because they are children of our futures. So give them the chance.
Now I am an event organizer with a ministry and volunteering work. Such an offer for all the teams, translation, accommodation, transportation during the whole championships in Egypt. I am translating for all the refugees who speak French and English in Egypt, and organizing event also for the NGO. And I think that it's gonna be a message to improve the society and be an added value, not to be someone who consumes the goods and gone.
I was participated in one training, and it was the cultural diversity, because the diversity situation in our country is not so stability. And from that time I understand that doing this work for me, working with diversity, it's my work. It's something about that I want to do, that it's something about that I should do. In Kyrgyzstan now live more than 50 different nationalities, and I teach them how to live with each other. Everyone should find their own way of living, and everyone should find their work to do and the way of moving, as to say.
I work for Turkish Red Crescent in my country to distribute some staple foods to people who can't afford the cost of living, and we try to provide people for blood, for necessary, and we try to do some conference about young people to encourage them to join the group of the decision making in the cities. And I really want to encourage young people to explain their ideas, because the future is there and mine, so we have to do something.
Volunteering for me is giving up your time, setting out your time, and trying to help other people that need the help that you have. And if you can, you might as well help and do it. For me, currently in my life, my sister has been a great inspiration among all her achievements she has done in her life. And she was a premature born herself. And that's the motivation that brought her into creating that foundation. So with all the things that she went through, she inspires me. And sometimes I do envision, what if she died and never survived because she was one of the premature births? What if she didn't get any hospitals that had incubators by the time she was born? It means I wouldn't have a sister. So that has inspired me to also pursue this volunteering journey in my life, and I'm happy to be doing it. I give all my time to do it, and I'll do it any day.
I think I started to do volunteering work when I was about 10 years old, and currently I'm 19 years old, and it's about 9 years, and my family always support me in this process. So I've done a lot of volunteering work in educational field, and especially about children's education. I would like to share a story about my father. And dating back to the 1990s, when my father's family was much poorer than most of the Chinese, he couldn't get access to education at that time. However, he spared no effort to self-studying. But it didn't come out as a fairy tale. After years of struggling, he still failed in the college entrance examination. Yes, he never go to university. So when he heard that I was admitted into one of the top universities in China, he wept for joy. And just suddenly I realized how much does it weigh to him that he said, you need to cherish the chance for study. And I really appreciate that he always tried his best to provide the best learning environment for me, even though I was a girl and my gender may deprive me of education in some rural areas. I really want to give back to the society and to enable the kids to have the same chance that I was blessed with and the chance that my father have missed. And I think I've learned a lot from all this experience. It made me who I am today.
I work with people from all over the Paraguay, and specifically the people who live in a small city, because he don't have the opportunity to access to get information. In a few words, the volunteering for me is city works with other aids.
I have been doing volunteering activities for the past 5 years. Volunteering for me is basically putting somebody else's interest above my own interest, like being able to touch someone's life, being able to bring impact into somebody's life. So it's all about a life that is above me. It's all about a purpose that is above me. Being there for somebody, touching somebody's life. That's what volunteering means to me. Okay, I'll share a little story. I started reading books like 2 years ago because I met a group of friends that encouraged me to read books. We really don't have a culture of reading books back in our country. And then when I read books, I realized that there is so much more that we are missing. And that pushed me to reach out to people, because as we are growing up, we never had a chance, or we never had a motivation to read books. And then I looked at the younger generation, they are missing a lot of stuff. So that was a major push for me to reach out, to just not hold the advantage that I got from reading books and hold it to myself. And then so I thought to myself, what if I pass on this knowledge or this experience to other people? So that's what pushed me to give out my time, to give out my skills, to help young kids to be able to be literate. Because apart from just not having a culture of reading books, we also have a problem of our kids graduating primary schools not knowing how to read and write English. That was actually the motivation for me. After I realized myself what is in the books and stuff, that's when I realized that I also need to reach out, because we lacked this experience, and I know these young kids, they also lack that experience, because there is really no one to be there to tell them, you have to do this, you have to do this. So that's what actually pushed me.
In 2008, I was working as a trainer, volunteer trainer, for Women Can Do It project about empowering women, building capacity, and how women could participate in politics. Actually, at that time, the quote of Nelson Mandela suddenly came to my mind. It's called, education is the most powerful weapon. We can use it to change the world. Actually, when I help people, when I support people, when I can do something for them and make them happy, this motivates me.
Yes, actually I'm very excited to join a student volunteer mission since I was the participant in the student volunteer mission to Laos under the Malaysian Student Volunteers Foundation. And then when I back to university, I'm actively organize community projects. For example, this year I organized a community project to Indonesia for 1 week, and we organized some free English classes, Culture Day, Car Free Day, City Cleanliness Campaign, and etc. Volunteer, we are physically engaged with other people, helping other people, not necessarily in terms of the money, but we volunteer to help them in terms of their necessity.
I'm very excited to do something for my country, my world, my planet. So especially I try. So I give you a whole world this suggestion and advice. Do for the best and do for sustainable development goals.
I think volunteers should be patient.
Be patient.
Good-hearted.
Hardworking.
Hard worker.
Hardworking.
Passion.
Passion.
Kind.
Kind.
Caring.
Understanding.
Efficient.
To keep smile.
Be good listener.
Looking for help and respect.
They should be willing to be selfless and do it for the good of someone else and not for themselves necessarily.
Honest.
Being there for someone else and not yourself.
Good communication skill.
Commitment.
Open-minded.
An open-hearted person.
Initiative.
Persistence.
Active. Proactive, I'd even say.
Every moment they must search for the happiness. So when they search for the happiness, automatically happiness will revert back to him.
It's love.
It's love.
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 Volunteering for me is about being myself, interaction, is about open my things, open my heart, forget their stereotypes and any boundaries. There's no boundaries, but they're just human beings. It doesn't matter my culture, my language, it matters what the moment interaction we are having. It's priceless, that's the most important thing for me.
Dare to dream, ready to achieve.